Hello and welcome everyone, it's Shanna, and I'm bringing you another collection from Spellbinders. This is the Simple Storage Vintage Flower Shop 12 by 12 paper pack that I've got here. And this is just one small piece of a very large collection of vintage flower pieces from Simple Stories, and this is just absolutely gorgeous, this 12 by 12. Now, I don't do a lot of scrapbooking. I'm going to get back into it a little bit, but you can certainly use the 12 by 12 on your cards as well. You can cut them down. But this is just chocked full of beautiful coordinating patterns that I think are just lovely. The butterflies, oh my goodness, and the plaids. I love all this ledger looking, tag looking stuff. And then you've got these frames, just lots of beautiful cardstock that you can work with. We've got several tags here. And then on the back, you've got some blank tags that you could use. So you can choose whether you want a blank one or one that has writing on it. Here's some cut aparts that you could use for, panels on your card. But I love this beautiful yellow that's on the back. There's some more tags, sentiment tags, and some sentiment pieces. And then this beautiful floral. Just lots of gorgeous. Now here's a bunch of more cut aparts on here. And then you've got this beautiful green on the back. Kind of makes it hard. I love this brown. And then you've got the big cut aparts on here. You've got a bingo piece, and those are some big ones. And then you've got a set of stickers. There are 95 pieces in this set, including the 12 by 12 paper and then all of the stickers and everything. You get 12 sheets of the double-sided 12 by 12 designer cardstock, and then it includes cut apart, and then you get a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. And I knew I wanted to really use this paper up. So after I did kind of showed you the papers, I went ahead and cut out a Kinder's Card Challenge 17 with this and put together all of the pieces so that I could bring some cards to you real quickly with this particular set. And so I'm going to do, I think I do 1 through 5 on this video and just quickly showcase some of the papers. And I brought in some layering papers as well. I thought some of this Portobello and this brown cardstock would look nice with the patterns that we have in here. And so I'm going to pull in some browns and some tills, and we will pair it up with the paper pad collection, and we'll be using stickers and all that to create these cards. I'm not going to talk much about the sketches because you have seen me do the sketches before. And so we're just going to focus on, the pattern paper and bringing it together. Now, this particular sketch has a lot of open, so I did take the embossing folder from the Just Saying collection that I did earlier, I guess on Sunday, and I embossed the background panel for this particular card so that I could have a little bit of dimension and some interest to the card. So we're just using some of the brown strips from that brown piece of paper, and then the triangle or the squares that I've cut in half, that is basically the butterfly paper that we're using there. And I'm just bringing in some scraps for these little pieces here, and it's going to make a really pretty card. And we'll just get this laid down on there. Those mustardy color floral panel is what we're laying on the side there. We're just going to get it laid down on there. And then we're going to bring in some pieces from our sticker sheet and just embellish this card and make it more interesting. So we'll get this laid down. Now, both of the boys are napping. Oh my gosh, we've had so much sickness running through the family, and they were just limp noodles. Well, Westy was a couple days ago, and then yesterday Gunner was pretty much a limp noodle, but today he's back in action, and he's been a wild maniac. So I'm just going to take one of these sentiments here with a little bit of ephemera and get it laid down on there, and then we'll bring in one of the little hearts and just embellish it and just add some more interest to it. And I just kind of put it down there where the sketch shows it. We're going to move on to the second sketch, which is a strip sketch. And we'll just quickly bring this together. Now, I did bring in some of my alabaster cardstock as well as some of that. I think that's raindrop, or I don't know, from Spellbinders, the teal colored there. And we're just going to layer it up. I thought the lighter color would look pretty on there. And right now, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking I'm going to glue these down on here, and I'm not thinking about the layered panel. So I'll get started doing that, then I'll realize what I've done, and we'll lift it up and fix it. So I've still got a little bit of that fog from the head cold. And this is where I realized, I'm like, that's not the right size. You've got to get this panel laid down. So fortunately, I didn't get it pushed down, glued down too much, and I was able to just quickly lift it up. So I'm hoping for the cold medicine fog to wear off pretty soon so that I can be functional again. I just noticed that I'm still kind of a little bit cloudy, and I am still stuffy, so I do okay, and then it kind of comes back in on me and clouds me up. And I'll weave this wrong as well, and this is where I say it's the cloud. Now this is that one that has the extra piece with it, and it's longer, and so I'm just going to lay it down on the inside of the card and get it out of my way just to kind of eliminate any confusion. And then I'm going to start weaving these, and I'll get this first one weaved, and then the second one, for some unknown reason, I'll weave it just like I did this one, and then I'll realize it when I get to the third one, and I'll have to pull them up and fix it. So, and here you'll see I'm doing it just the same. I suppose it wouldn't matter, honestly, but I wanted to go ahead and fix it since I realized what I had done. And see, I just did it there again, and I'm like, they're all three laying the same way. And then I thought that was fixing it, and then I realized, no, it was the middle one that needed fixed. So we're going to get that laid down, and then we'll pull the middle one up. It'll rip a little bit, but I'll get it laid down, and we'll get it glued back down, and no one will ever know. And now we have our weave correct on there. So you can see what I mean by the cold medicine fog that I'm in. And I'll just bring in my glue eraser and get that glue off of there from where I had kind of made a mess and get it cleaned up and ready to go. Now we're ready to embellish this card sketch with the some of the stickers that we've got on here, and I'm just going to look around and see what we've got and figure out what I want to put on this. And for this one, I'm going to use this camera. And I think it said something like capture moments or something is what I laid down on there. And I thought it'd be cute with the camera and that. And it could be good for a birthday or any type of special moment. And I'm going to get started on my next card. I'm just bringing in some more of that brown. This is just Michael's Recollection cardstock that I'm using for that. You can pick up kind of a browns and cream pack from them, fairly inexpensive. And it's not lightweight layering. I'm going to need to bring in another layer, I think, and layer up my butterflies. And I think these butterflies are really pretty, and I think it looks good on the brown. So I had this piece here, the scrap, and this was the one that's the wood grain pattern. And I'm just going to cut it down, I think, to make it fit, but I'm still in the fog, and I cut it down too far. So I am going to trim my butterfly paper down and just make it work. At this point, I realized that the fog I was in actually affected when I was using the cutting guide as well. So we're just going to get it laid down. At that point, I was like, oh, just run with it, Shanna. So I was wishing that I had embossed that or something, and I was like, oh. And then I realized I needed another layer. So I brought this in, and that's what I was missing. So we'll get this laid down. And again, I just took the embossing folder from that Just Saying collection. I'll link it in the description box below. And it's a real pretty big floral one. And I thought it would add some interest to this. And then we're just going to layer butterflies on top of that. I had a piece of that teal cardstock that I had cut off from my layers on the previous cards and thought it would be perfect to layer this strip of brown on there. And it would tie the teal butterfly in, and then we'll lay the brown on it, and it'll be really pretty. And I'm having a heck of a time getting it lined up where I want it. And I'm going to trim it down because it is bigger than it needs to be, because it was just an extra strip that I had laying there. We'll trim that off and it'll work. So I've got to get my middle panel laid down. Looks like we had butterflies on the back of it too. And we'll get it positioned in there and get this laid down. And then we're going to bring in some more stickers. This 12 by 12 collection, paper collection with the stickers makes it very easy to do a whole bunch of cards, because you've got such beautiful paper, and then you've got those stickers and some sentiments that are on there, so you can just use this and create your cards. I'm just going to bring in a little floral element. I started to say elephant. And it also has a tag, and there was a little banner on here that says love, and I was able to use that on the top corner, and I think that looks really pretty. And we're going to move on to our next one. And this is one that has some circle die cuts that you're going to lay on it. And I did emboss the teal panel, and I'm bringing in the cream colored panel there, and we'll get it laid down. And we've got more butterflies. This is just going to be a lovely spring collection. This is a set of cards that you could make the little box for and put them all together and give them as a gift, because they're all going to be beautifully coordinated, and they're pretty much going to be everyday cards, because I don't have specific sentiments that are going down on them. So this one we're going to lay a strip of brown on, and then we'll put our circles on it. And we're just going to butt our butterfly panel up next to this. And it's going to be really pretty. And you can see I could choose either side of that pattern paper for the cards, but I'm choosing to go with the kind of the butterfly and floral elements. We'll just get these 3 die cut circles laid down on here. And then we'll just go back to our sticker pack and just take a look at it and see if there's anything that really sticks out that we want to put on there. And there was a sentiment that I thought would look really nice and just kind of lay across the top there, and we'll just keep it simple. We're going to do one more. And this is sketch 5. So I'll have the first 5 of my 15 done. And we're going to bring the teal back in and the cream. And my card base, I don't know if you noticed, it was backwards, and I realized it when I was trying to line it up, so I quickly flipped it so that I wouldn't mess it up. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but it's kind of annoying when you get working on your card and you've got a finished card, and then you realize that you've glued it on upside down or something. Usually what I'll do in that case is I'll just hack the front of the card off, and I'll just glue it down to a new card base and run with it. It'll just be an extra thick card. Now here I didn't cut this one quite right, so I'm going to cut it down, and we'll get it laid down on there. And I trimmed this one up, but it was actually the top piece. As I looked at my measurement, I had made it way too big. And I think that's why one of my other pieces was off too. So now we've got it to the size that we need it to be, I think. Actually, it was too narrow, and so I had to recut it and make the piece fit. So there we go. That was part of the fog that I was in. So we'll just get this laid down on there. We've got 2 beautiful pattern papers laying on this card front. Just so much spring. I mean, oh, I'm so looking forward to spring. We've just got 2 more days. Today's the 26th. It's my grandson's actual 4th birthday. We had his party over the weekend, in which I think I told you about. He wasn't able to attend because he had such a high fever, and they had to have the party because they had rented some expensive blow-up equipment for the kids to play on, and there were just tons of people coming, and it was a last-minute notice that he'd spiked that fever. And so we had a 4-year-old birthday party without the 4-year-old there. So, very sad, but he did later get to enjoy his presents. And then he had a nice little party today at school, in which he got to take some treats in, and he had a little birthday crown that he wore. And he has a super great teacher, so hopefully he got to enjoy his birthday on his actual day today. So I'm going to just layer this up with the brown and just try and get my floral element there that I've cut out to stand off of the busy pattern paper there. And I've decided to cut it down a little bit so that I'll have a good border around there. And we'll get this laid down on here, and this is just a beautiful floral basket with some florals in it. They almost look like hydrangeas, I'm not sure. And you also have a sticker like that too. That was one of the cut aparts, but I'm going to bring in one of the butterflies, just kind of fill in this open corner here. And then we'll grab a sentiment and get it laid down on there. And I think it looks really pretty. So we've got all 5 of our cards here, and I think they look lovely. And I hope you can see how this collection can help you to make some really fast cards. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.